Oh my god, you guys!
Hey, you guys.
How are we all doing today? This is another episode of Elena Raw and Bareback Season 2.
So exciting to be here.
Danny's just so excited, but
I'm
today...
so excited. I'm such a wine mom.
She's been a wine mom lately. She's just been... When I first moved into this apartment, I did nothing but buy wine because I wanted to give the illusion of kind of like, I have my life together. I just drink wine. I don't drink none of that hard liquor.
But funny fact, Elena doesn't drink at all.
I don't drink at all. And so I just had like all these wine left over. Once Danny wiped through all the entire hard liquor, she said, fine, I'll drink the wine.
Fine, I guess I can do it. I'm such an alcoholic. Why not just, dabble with the wine?
And so now she's a wine mom. But today's topic is so funny, you guys, because I personally love it so much.
What's our topic, Elena?
So there are two types of girls in this world. And
didn't Britney Spears say that? Oh, no, there's two types of people in the world.
In this world, but we're talking about girls. Because so many girls will seek the validation of men, and so many girls will just kind of look dumb doing it. But it's just so funny because we're going to be talking about the type of girls that get cuffed up and the girls who get used.
Yes.
Which is so interesting because you might not think there's a category for that, but there totally is.
Definitely a category.
And when it comes to men, they have a certain type of girls. Now, should we make this like a trans related or just kind of like girls in general?
I think this one can be very broad and a general like statement for like, our like non-trans viewers watching,
Okay.
So if you're a gay guy, what?
Because our non-trans viewers are like literally this much.
Okay, well, who cares? If you're gay, lesbian, bi, girl, boy, in between, whatever you want to be.
So basically, let's get right into it. So these are the type of girls that usually get cuffed up versus the girls who don't. So Danny, okay, actually, let's talk about how we came to found this out, because my ex-boyfriend, I will use him a lot as a reference because this is when like I started to notice a couple things. After we broke up, so I noticed the girls he dated versus the girls that he fucked were completely on the opposite spectrum. Like they were like not even in the same category. They were completely different. So with him, he loved and this isn't even just him. It's a lot of guys.
Okay.
So, my ex-boyfriend loved plastic surgery-looking bitches. And that's why he was so upset. I mean, it's weird, though, because those are the girls that he fucked, but he ended up dating me. But I get it, because,
because you have such a high relationship success rate.
I'm not that far gone yet. But anyway, so he loved just kind of, the plastic, done-up, big lips, like the surge up hose. And this goes to a lot of guys. I noticed a lot of guys love this, and I don't know what it is, but they just have this I don't know if it's because they look like a blow-up doll or what it is, but guys love it. Men absolutely.
I think it's the fantasy, right?
But what fantasy is that giving?
What?
Like a surge up,
it's a fantasy. It's a
blow-up doll?
The slutty MILF next door. The slutty girl next door. I think that's the fantasy that it's giving. I think it's giving desperate housewife.
It's a very interesting fantasy,
no,
one
kidding.
that he was completely all about. And so that's when he met me. He was he told me, he was his type in girls is kind of fit, athletic body type. But the girls that he loved to absolutely fuck were surged up, BBL, face done up, bimbo whorish sluts. He loved fucking those girls.
Wasn't there an emo thrown in there?
No, it gets better.
Okay,
it gets better, babe. It gets better.
Okay.
And so that is one of the categories that guys love to fuck. Those are the girls that they absolutely adore to fuck. Now, the girls that they bring home, completely fucking different. What are they more like, Danny?
I would say, more modest. I would say usually brown hair or black hair.
And that's what I always say is the blondes get fucked while the brunettes get cuffed up. Mm-hmm. Because brunettes just look more and I hate to make this about the stereotypical blonde versus brunette, but it's true. I've asked guys so many times, I've asked guys many times, what do you like me better as, blonde or brunettes? And the guys who wanted to date me always said brunette. The
guys you've definitely said this before.
The guys who always wanted to fuck me and gave hookup vibes preferred the blonde. And it's just kind of like a like the blonde is more like Playboy, bleach blonde, Pamela Anderson.
I feel like right now your hair is like in this like cool.
No, not me. I'm talking about in general, like very Marilyn.
Of course, but I'm saying,
Marilyn
like,
was a side hoe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like his wife was a brunette.
Oh, we were just talking about this actually. Because, so yesterday we were actually watching
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah, we were watching Breakfast at Tiffany's, and I was like, isn't it so interesting how Audrey Hepburn was just like known as like the sweet, innocent, good girl, just so elegant and pure. Like when I think of the word elegant, I think of Audrey Hepburn.
And then you have Marilyn, who was kind of just like diamond girl's best friend, and
what
she was
just
she's very kind of just like very all at her body. Didn't you see her little outfit she wore to meet the queen? It was
my God, I totally saw
out
that.
And everything. Like
she was definitely the girl next door.
Like blonde just give very like sex appeal, Playboy bunny, bleach blonde hair, Pamela Anderson.
You know, the media is always pinning us against each other. Why can't all hair colors just, why
because
can't?
blonde just have a more sexual appeal looking, like porn stars with the bleach blonde, broken hair, like that's just like
Holly from the OC.
Yeah, very like, it's very like that look. And so a lot of guys who, like, I noticed my ex, the girls that he followed on Instagram to fuck, they were all very similar. Tan skin, a bleach blonde hair, and they all have the stupid blue butterfly emoji in their bio. I don't know what the fuck that means. And they're all sorority hoes.
Oh my goodness.
Bitch.
Not
Like,
the sorority hoes.
And they all have like their little like Zeta this, Zeta that. And it's like, it's on their fucking
Zeta
bio.
Beta.
Exactly. Like, those are the bitches that he loved to like fuck. He would never date one of them because they're all whores. But like, he just had like a specific type of girls that he like loved.
Are you the exception, Elena?
Well, I'm like a mix in the middle because I'm interesting, but because I'm a pick me girl, it's all about me. But I like, that's what I've noticed is like he had a specific type of look that he likes to fuck, and it's the complete opposite of like all his ex-girlfriends were completely different from the girls that he fucked.
Okay. Interesting.
But I noticed one more thing as well.
Okay, what did you notice?
A lot of them are like the emo girls.
That's what I was saying. And you were saying,
me and Danny and I were getting ready earlier, and we were talking about this topic, and I told Danny, I was like, Danny, you're that, right? And she was like, what? And I was like, you're the girl that the guys fuck. And she was like, what are you talking about?
I can't be that. I have black hair.
And a lot of like, I have friends who look like me. So if you meet me and Danny, we're best friends, but you can totally tell we are the complete opposite
of each other.
I'm very like a stepmother, and she's very like my daughter, who is
whenever we go out, I look like I work at Hot Topic. I look like I'm just going out on the weekend, like meeting my new stepmother.
And
this bitch is dressed to a 10. Just like, I'm like, we're going to freaking McDonald's. Why are you dressed like that?
I'm always in heels, and this bitch is always kind of just in like
a flannel.
She's in like the edgier clothes because she's all about that 2000s throwback, like MySpace era.
I mean, yeah, to an extent. I feel like my style is always changing, but
you always stay in that category of like rock, and I'm very kind of just like Dynasty, Dynasty. And so I was telling Danny, and so I have a lot of friends who like look like me, like stepmothers, and their boyfriends, and their boyfriends have cheated on them in the past for girls that look like Danny. It's funny because my ex recently fucked this girl, and he sent me a sex tape of it, and I was like watching, and I was like, oh my God, like, of course, like the girl he's fucking in this video is like super skinny, has like long black hair, and like is super like edgy looking. And I was like, that's odd. And then I sent it to my friend who is also like a stepmother, and I didn't send it to her, but I showed her, and I was like, look at the girl he's fucking. And she was like,
stepmother.
And she was like, oh my God. She's like, that's so funny because my ex fucked the same girls. Like my ex cheated on me for girls that look like that. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she was like, the emo girls, like the emo skinny girls. And I'm like,
it's because, think about it, it's just like
the complete opposite.
Yeah, it's just like, you're not attracted to one type of guy, are you?
Obviously not, but it just goes to show like there's two categories of the girls that guys cuffed up and the girls that like just get used up and abused. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that girl in the video could still have a boyfriend. We don't know her life, or like have a lot of boyfriends. I don't know.
I'm sure she fucking has a lot of boyfriend, but like I'm sure like her boyfriend has the exception of fucking other girls that look like me. Do you know what I mean?
The reverse card.
Yeah, the reverse card. The same way that my ex date girls like me and then fuck girls that look like that, I'm sure her boyfriend dates girls like that and then fucks like the bimbo looking hoes, aka me. And so it's like, so my ex was very like that. He loved like the bimbo, like he loves like just like
blow up doll.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I also noticed he loved fucking ugly bitches, and guys love doing that. Like,
are you sure you're not being biased and just a hater?
No, I saw the girls he fucked, and I told him I was like, really? Like, you had me and you're fucking these girls instead? Like, okay, go off. Like, I know you know standards, and babe, what the hell is this, you know? And I told him, I was like, at least the guys that I fuck are either the same level as you or higher. You know, like, I don't fucking go down. Like, no.
You're like, I would like to see a new video filmed next week with a hotter girl. Thank you. I
mean, I would appreciate it because it's insulting me a little bit. Like, you had me and now you're like leaving me for this. Like, how insulting. But I always date up. They always say date down, but I never ever date down. I always date up.
And why do you think that is?
Because the next boyfriend has to be taller, has to be hotter. It just has to be better than the last, you know?
Do you think you could like ever see yourself like settling down with a guy that you just never thought, maybe like a 5'9", but with an amazing personality?
No, because my shallow standards would never allow me to even give that guy a chance.
Jerry's not 5'9".
I know, but
the situation when we thought.
Yeah. So I met this guy and I ignored him for literally, I think, 4 years straight. He would always hit me up, and I would always.
I think we talked about this in the.
Did we?
I think so.
I don't know, but I ignored him for 4 years straight because I thought he was 5'9", and later I found out he was 6'2", and I went on the date.
You're like, what have I been doing?
And then I went on a date with him right away, and we clicked it off, and I was like, wow, I'm so happy that you're actually 6'2". Because my shallow ways and my shallow. Because the thing is, it's like kind of like, again, I need to be humbled. Like that.
She needs to be humbled very badly. It's the funniest thing because I'll be with her, like with a guy she's seeing, and we're all together getting food, and they'll just be like, Elena, you're actually one of the sweetest girls I've ever met. And in my head, I'm just like, what the fuck? This girl, I mean, she could be sweet for sure, but it's just so funny because she really does like tend to change her personality to fit the guy's personality. So we will be out and she'll be just like a different person, and he's seeing that, and like it's just funny.
He's falling in love, and he's
falling in love with the idea of who he thinks she is versus who she actually is.
And so I mean, like, it's just who I am. But like,
I'm a chameleon.
Yeah, I like what you told me. Like, she was like, Beastie, that needs to happen to you. Because
I did say that, yes.
Like, Danny wants me to be humbled, and honestly, I need to be humbled. My ex told me to. He was like, do you think you'd be the way you are if I took away your social media? He was like, and if I took away your looks, do you think you'd be the way you are? And I said, absolutely not. I'd be so much nicer, and I'd be so much more down to earth. But because I look the way that I am, I'm just a bitch. Like, I hold myself to such a high standard, and my really confidence is out the fucking roof. That like,
and so I feel like a lot in the past, and I think the reason why Elena and I worked so well is because a lot of our other friends that we used to hang out with, like, put her on a pedestal and saw, like, they were almost fans of her. Like, they were fans, you know what I mean? And I feel like I'm just like, that's Elena. Like, I don't put her on a pedestal. I tell her like it is 24/7, and she hates it. But I also let her have her moments of like when she's being a pick-me or, you know, talking about her high relationship success rate. I piggyback off of it, and I let her have her fun. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, girl, you need to fix yourself for real.
Because my personality, like, I am a sweet person, but I am kind of like up my own ass. And the thing is, at least I'm realizing this, you know? At least I'm noticing my flaws now. My flaws are, you guys, like, I am really cocky, extremely cocky. I hold myself to like this high of a standard, and that's why like I expect so much when it comes to like the guys that I'm with, because if my boyfriend isn't the hottest in the fucking room, I'm settling. Like, I want my boyfriend to walk in and every girl instantly want to fuck him. That's how hot I want my guys to be. And that's why in the past, I've only ever dated really, 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 really hot guys. I've never ever settled for less. Because,
have you ever been cheated on?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
The thing is, I can sit here and say, oh yeah, I've never been cheated on, because I don't think I have. But
because, you know, like they say, like even the hottest girls get cheated on. So I was just curious. I mean, I can't think of anyone that comes to mind either. I don't think anyone's cheated on you.
I don't think I know, because I'm always the baddest girl they ever dated. Like Taylor,
she's just so hot, you guys, that they don't have a chance to cheat on her. They're
like, why do you think I was engaged? Like,
right.
I was his.
She was engaged.
I was his hottest girlfriend. That's why I'm never dumped. That's why I always dumped them, because like, who wants to dump me, baby? I'm like a 10 out of 10, and I'm so nice to a certain extent.
Do you feel like a lot of the times, and this is totally random and totally off topic, but have you ever been with a boy and like felt like, oh my god, I wonder if he misses pussy? Like, I wonder if he's like secretly getting it on the side.
I mean, I always ask them that. I'm kind of like, do you ever miss pussy? And they're all kind of just like, no, like I've had it my entire life. Do you know what I mean? Like they go their entire life having it, now they're ready for something like different. So it's kind of
and
like,
I guess that's also part of the reason maybe why they're talking to us in general. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like,
I don't know. That's a whole different topic.
I've ever asked a guy like, do you miss pussy? His answer is always kind of like, no, I've had it my entire life. It's overrated.
It's almost like when someone asks like a bisexual person, it's like, oh, so you're with a girl, do you miss dick? You know what I mean? Like if it's a girl. Yeah. I guess it's just like that. I was just curious, but yeah. Anyways, what were we talking about?
Is that a thing you fear?
What?
Like your guys would miss pussy?
Of course. I mean,
does that threaten you a little bit, Danny?
An asshole can only go so far. Like, let's talk about it. No, I mean, I actually eventually want to get the surgery, and yeah. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, it kind of just. I don't know if we talked about it before or not. I literally have the worst memory. But the last guy I dated was just like, he ended up being a chaser, and he was so into me. And basically, we had a conversation at the bar once, and like I was wasted, he was wasted, and we were just like totally having a good time. We were with our friends, and he basically goes like, oh, do you want to get the surgery one day? And I was like, yeah, I actually do. And he's just like, oh, well, I don't know if I'd want to be with you then.
And that's
like,
a thing. That's surgery. A total thing too.
No, yeah, and I'm just like, but why? Like, you like girls? And he's like, yeah, but I could just be with a cis girl then. Like, I like you for who you are and like what you have right now. And so then I blew up on him. We were fighting. He's like, you took it the wrong way. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I took it the right way. Like, what other way can you take it?
No, because like there are like times where it's kind of like the guys will literally be like, well, if I wanted a pussy, I'd go get a pussy. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like they're talking to you like, yeah, it's for who you are, but mainly it's because of what you got. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like it's different for them. And I was talking to this guy too, and he told me, he was like, guys want something different. Like he was talking to this trans girl who got a pussy, and then he stopped talking, he cut her off.
It's
and
scary.
I was like, why did you do that? And he was like, because like she's just like everyone else. I'm like, the guys like having girls that other guys don't have. And so a trans girl, like they kind of just like, oh my god, like that's so unique. Like no one, like it's rare, you know? And so like when she got her pussy done, he was like, well, no, I don't want this anymore.
And it's so scary because it's like, so when I heard that information, I was like, so fuck my personality, right? Like I'm just a basic.
It does make you think that way for sure.
Like I was like, great, like you don't actually like me. Anyways, it's fine. I barely even liked him. I was playing games with him anyways. I will admit that. Anyways, but it was just funny because I'm like, wow, I never thought that you would be that type of person. Like you've had other girlfriends like that are not trans, and it's just like he's just like, yeah, well, like I want it what I want, and I'm like, okay, well, bye.
Like, this is not for me. I'm clocked out.
I'm like, I have to go.
But that goes back to kind of just like, you know, like the girls that get like the girls he fucks versus okay, Danny, who are the girls that he dates?
I mean, like I said, they're probably usually going to be a little bit more modest, maybe a family girl, if you will. Mm-hmm. You know, not always just partying at the bar, or maybe they are, I don't know. But I feel like you'll definitely know if you're the girl or not. You'll know if you're the nighttime girl or not, because they'll be talking to you a completely different way than they talk to the girl they're just trying to fuck. Yeah. Do you agree?
100%.
I keep leaning that way.
The girls that usually are like the girls that he just fucks are like, listen, I've seen them online. I know exactly who they are. And they're the girls that are always posting like provocative pictures, always just flexing their little nightlife. Like, think about it. A guy's gonna want like a girl that they can like call a wife material,
right?
Okay? And if you're on social media just posting like all these provocative photos, me.
Or the thirst trap, right?
The thirst traps.
The thirst traps. Which we love doing.
Mm-hmm.
We are
if
guilty.
You're going to be like, honestly, this applies to me.
It applies to me too. I think most girls, I think a lot of trans girls do thirst traps and don't realize like what they're doing.
Trans girls, cis girls, like everyone just kind of like, they are guilty of this. Like, we take provocative photos, and so obviously right off the bat we're sending a message.
We are sending,
which is like, look at how comfortable I am in my body. Like, wait till you get in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, like I'm so comfortable. You get in it. Like, I'm so comfortable with my body. I want you to see it. You know, same with guys who just post like shirtless pictures all the time. Like, there's like the shirtless picture where it's kind of like, okay, like as far as like
a gym boy.
No, as far as like provocative photos, like the appropriate way is kind of just like at the beach. in my bikini, a guy in a bikini taking a picture. Do you know what I mean?
A guy
but
in a
like
bikini.
a guy just constantly taking like shirtless mirror selfies, and same with girls always posting lingerie.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you look at that, and that's not someone that you want to take seriously because you know what kind of audience they're attracting by doing that.
And I've done that for the longest time. And for a little while, I was going through a phase. I'm like, why are these guys just asking me to come over and fuck? Like, I'm so confused. And then I realized the kind of content I was putting out there.
Exactly.
And so now I'm like, I need to actually stop posting in lingerie every 2 seconds. Maybe put, throw in a sweater vest every now and then.
And so when you guys put that like out there, it obviously sends like the wrong message, And so obviously like the girls that he will tend to fuck are in his following, are in his fucking likes. He's liking their photos up and down the app.
That is something I stopped doing, is looking at the guy that I'm interested in at his number of like who he's following. I can't do that anymore because if I give them that power, I will go insane.
Oh no, I did it and I literally went insane.
Yeah, and
like,
she would text me every day being like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I'm like, take a step back.
I was the type of girl to look at the Snap score. Like, I didn't know Snap score was like a thing until recently.
She would text me and be like, it went up this much. It went up this much. I'm like, maybe they're texting their best friend who's
and then
the guy.
Danny told me, she was like, you need to stop. It's so unhealthy. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I want to find out. But those are the girls that he's usually fucking. Like, the girls that he's, oh my God. It's always the girls that he says, you have nothing to worry about.
And that's like the first red flag, I feel.
Because when you guys break up, best believe she's the first bitch she's going to run to. 100%. You don't have to worry about her. I'm only going to fuck her when we break up. Like, are you kidding? Are you fucking kidding? Like, ugh. And like, these girls always look like there is a certain like type.
I think every girl's been in that situation where you're like not worried, or like they tell you not to worry, and then you guys break up and it's like, oh,
that's the first person he fucked.
Yeah.
So it's like, ugh. But there's also like, what else, Danny? Like, what else do we know? Like, what other girls are the girls that are just like the fucky girls?
Did you just say fucky?
The fucky girls. These are the girls that he fucked. They have like no self-respect whatsoever because
they're usually just
horny and
gross. Yeah,
they're
like
gross girls.
They're gross girls, and I mean we've all seen them. Like we all know them. They're the girl next door. They will take your man, no problem.
They don't have any respect for themselves.
No
they're just
self-respect.
dick hungry. They're just like, I just want a man. Like, they'll take whatever they can get. And
exactly.
The guys kind of like just like dirty girls. Like guys just love fucking dirty girls.
I think it's like a also a different form of like a fantasy almost.
I think it's because like it's so different from what they were like used to. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like I dated this like wife material for like this entire relationship. Now I kind of want something different. I just want to be bad for once.
Exactly. And it's almost like if I'm doing it with someone bad, I know I won't gain feelings for them. It could be a one-time thing.
Exactly. Because it's kind of like, look at this bitch. She's fucking dirty. She's slutty. She's gross. I would never date her, but I'm going to fuck her. Because fuck it, like it's the opposite of what I've dealt with this whole entire relationship. I'm gonna like date this. I'm gonna like fuck this bitch, and that's like use her as like a sex slave. Basically.
I mean, how often do you hear? Oh, like we were. I mean, maybe it's different with like cisgender people, but like, oh, we started out fucking, and then he gained feelings for me, and we're boyfriend and girlfriend now.
That happened to me once, Saphiric.
Another reason why Elena Genevieve has the highest relationship success rate in the business, people.
Because only I can turn a hookup into a relationship, so that's...
She's crazy.
But I mean, like, that's the type of girls that these guys will literally be fucking. And it's like, it's so gross. And I don't know why, but the girls that he dates versus the girls he fucks, completely different. The girl he dates are very kind of just like, she's like a 5. She's like really sweet.
What? Stop it. That's the perfect example.
We have this guy, okay?
We have a friend.
We have a friend. All the girls that he fucks are so hot.
The hottest. We're just like, okay, we're happy for you.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it. And
then I met his girlfriend recently, and I was like, okay. Like,
she texts me.
I text Danny, and I'm like, Danny, so I'm at lunch right now with him and his girlfriend. I expected more, honestly. She's super nice, super sweet, but she's not that hot as I thought she would be.
So she sends me pictures, and I'm like, no, but like, this is actually like not his type at all.
Not his type.
And we were so confused, and I was just like, what do they talk about?
Because
actually.
I mean, it threw me off guard because I've seen the girls he's been with. He's always texting me that I'm gonna go on a date with this girl. I'm on a date with this girl, and I'm kind of like, okay, so he has a type. He has a type, and it's hot girls. And then the one girl he decides to settle down with, I'm like, whoa, that's the complete opposite of what I would ever imagine you with.
And let me just say, she's not ugly at all.
But she's not hot either.
No, I wouldn't say she's not hot. I think she's cute. I think she's very modest looking, very like, I would take her to family dinner, family Christmas.
She has that vibe. She's just not like jaw dropping, neck breaking,
and
star
so
turning
we
hot.
know this person as just like a party boy, just like party boy off the rails. And it's like, she looks like you would meet her at church on Sunday.
100%.
So it's like, what do they talk about when they're together? And obviously, like, we're not taking them down or anything, but like, it's just so funny because they're proving our point.
And then his best friend calls me, and his best friend's like, have you met the girlfriend? I said, yeah. And he was like, he knew what he knew.
He said the exact same thing we were thinking.
He said, how do you feel about her? Because he knew right away
that Elena would have a big ass opinion.
And he knew because he also felt the same way. He goes, how do you feel about her? How do you feel about her? And I'm like, I like her. He was like, and? I'm like, she's a sweet girl. And he was like, and? Tell me more. How do you feel?
He was egging her on.
He was definitely egging me on because he also felt the same way. He goes, you think you can do better, huh? And I'm like, yeah.
I don't think it was do you think he could do better? I think it was it just doesn't make sense.
Make it make sense. I literally can't. And so like, it just goes to show like the girls that usually it's kind of like if you're really hot, super slutty, like just a 10 out of 10, guys will rarely ever cuff that because girls who are 10 out of 10 also come with so many guys' attention. So many attention from men.
You just know it. You just know there's so much competition.
And a lot of men don't want to deal with that. So they'd rather just fuck that and like date like the girls who don't get that many attention because it's
much attention.
It doesn't threaten their masculinity. And that's a thing. That's a 100% thing. It's kind of like
they want to have the upper hand.
Mm-hmm, no, it's kind of like every guy being like, I want the baddest bitch until they get the baddest bitch and they can't handle it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like every guy wants the baddest bitch. They get him, and then later they're like, oh my god, this is just too much. Bitch is crazy. She just has too many guys like DMing her. Like, well, what did you expect? You wanted a 10 out of 10. Like this is what's to come. You know? And that's how I am. I want the hottest man ever, and then I get it. And then I literally lose my fucking mind going crazy from like me constantly thinking of like scenarios like, oh my god, like is he out cheating? Because
it drives you crazy and it's not healthy at all.
And bitch, I'm the same way. I'm like, oh my god, he's so hot. He's probably getting all these attention from different girls. Like he's getting all these attention from like girls in his DMs. Like it literally drives you insane. And so that's why a lot of cis girls I know, they always date down because of that sole fact. They don't want to deal with like having to constantly being worried about like if their man's like getting another girl's attention and just like doing all that, because if they're dating down, then they're like, you know what, he's not that hot, he's like a shy guy, I don't have to worry about anything. But if it's like a really 10 out of 10 hot guy, then it's kind of like, oh my god, I'm nervous, like is he out? Like bitch, I could like Christian Huff, I would
not the dog dad,
I would totally fuck him. And as much as I would love to have him as my boyfriend, I physically don't think I could ever do it.
Literally the most annoying man has ever existed. But I totally get you.
Do you know what I mean? Because his level of hotness is just out of this like Christian,
no, he's super
Christian
hot.
Huff. His level of hotness, oh my god, 10 out of 10, so hot. But I could never ever be with that because of how paranoid I would be. And listen, I'm a very confident woman. I'm a very secure woman. But when I'm dating someone like that, it has nothing to do with insecurity. It's just me being like, it irks me knowing.
Wait, didn't you just say that you want the hottest guy and you always date up?
Of course.
Okay.
But it's also kind of hard to like date that. It's really unrealistic. I mean, you could date that, but I mean, you're gonna go insane.
Yeah,
AKA
definitely.
me, bitch. I went insane. Do you know what I mean?
That
was the most craziest I've ever been in my entire life.
I've actually never seen her that.
No,
the way she was acting was actually kind of humbling for her, because it was just so interesting to see like her like care. It was honestly cool to see her care.
Out of all my entire relationships, this one definitely like affected me the most, because I feel like one, he was super hot, and I was like, oh my god, like, this is the hottest guy I've ever been with. I love it. But it was just so toxic that I was kind of like, because I just drove myself crazy. We both drove to the crazy, you know?
And the whole time I was just like, you guys need to work on it, both of you, because you're both driving each other crazy, like an old married couple.
It was funny because he was hot, I was hot, and so he was paranoid of me doing fuck shit. I was paranoid of him doing fuck shit. It had nothing to do with insecurity at all. It was just kind of like the feeling of knowing like, I know what's happening. I know the attention he's getting because I get the same attention. I know what he's like. I know he's like probably flirting back. Like, and it irks me and it makes me so upset. It's kind of like what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours. And I just like...
The girls that get it, and the girls that don't.
Exactly. And so like whenever I would have a girls' night, he would know Elena's out getting attention and it irks him. Whenever he has boys' night, I know he's out. I know girls are looking at him. One of the drunk girls are probably hitting on him. And it's like, it
Do
irks
girls
me.
hit on guys?
The cis girls there, they do, yeah. Because like they start off as friends and they start getting physical and touchy and they're all drunk. So they're kind of like, whatever, you know? You think we're animals? Girls, cis girls are just as bad. I've seen it happen at the college party.
You know, I guess you're totally right. And yeah, you're right. So my last relationship thing with that guy that was a piece of shit, I think I was dating down because I was just like, I mean, you know who, you met him.
Oh my God, girl, that was definitely dating down.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
You couldn't pay me enough to go near that guy. Like, I don't know what you saw in him.
Whatever.
Personality probably it, I guess.
But my situation that I'm in now, what do you feel?
Oh, I think it's a big upgrade for sure.
Yeah, and you haven't even seen how big his muscles are.
I mean... looks aren't everything. I'm kidding. Coming from me, I'm like, bitch, looks aren't everything. They come
His
first.
personality is even more amazing.
Okay.
But, yeah, no, I'm just saying, I feel like that's an upgrade in itself.
Of course.
Not that, you know what I mean.
I mean, if you're comparing him to him, then yeah, it's an upgrade for sure.
Okay, what about him to Giovanni?
Well, you know I'm a bigger fan of Giovanni because he's 6'4".
Okay, what about Giovanni to Michael?
Giovanni was more fit. He looked like Johnny Depp. Michael looked like
Orlando Bloom.
Yes. And Michael was just very kind of like, girl, he could have got run over. I wouldn't give a fuck. I wouldn't bat an eye.
Emo boy.
It's always the emo boy.
He was an emo boy, and I loved it. What about, you know who, the one that hit me up today?
I never met that one. I never
was during
met that
our
one.
hiatus period.
But I mean, he's very kind of like...
The boy that I'm talking about, he is very scrawny, tall, skinny, skater boy.
Samantha.
Yes, Samantha. We're talking about Samantha. Skater boy. And who I'm talking to now, did you ever say his name?
I just did, but I'll edit it out.
Yes, he's above in my eyes.
I mean, he definitely is because, like, looks-wise, he's definitely got it for sure.
Who?
The guy that you're talking to now. And you know me.
Oh.
I'm super fishy as fuck. I'm super shallow. Even my little brother told me, he was like, Elena dating is... What did he say? He was like, Elena's views in dating is really shallow.
Who are we talking about? Wait, who are we talking about?
Jose.
Got it.
He told me you were here. He literally told me, he was like, Elena's views in dating is really shallow.
I mean, yeah, that's facts. That's like saying the sky's blue.
Yeah, because I'm really shallow when it comes to, I'm like a kiddie pool, you know? And so it's kind of like, looks come first to me. I always told everyone, even my friends, I said, he could be the hottest guy ever and treat me like shit and I'll still stick around because I want the hottest man in the fucking room. Do you know what I mean?
Do you hear this, you guys? Do you hear this? What I put up with on the daily?
I have had so many opportunities with so many wonderful guys that are super sweet.
Hunter.
Him, Slade.
Literally.
Like, just, I've had a handful of guys.
So I take it we're not actually dating.
Oh my God, I know. He texted me that. He texted me that last night and I got so a handful of guys just giving me the world, super sweet to me, and I will turn them all down every single day for my ex-boyfriend, who's the biggest douchebag, just super hot though. So I'm like,
you're
okay,
just playing into the stigma that people just always go back to their ex.
Yeah. And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, him and we have our bad ways, but apart from that, we have a lot of good memories. Him and I vibe together really well. Like, him and I have a lot of fun together. But there are some, like...
I think you guys are just too much alike.
No, honestly. Him and I are very... So, he says this awesome. He was like, me and you are literally like two big dogs just barking at each other in a small cage, because him and I are very like, he's a very dominant, aggressive man, and I'm a very dominant, aggressive little man, you know, like
not the little man,
because like my energy is just very like, I reciprocate energy. So if he
when they were together, they'd be on FaceTime and I'd be in the middle playing moderator, just like, why don't you hear his side of the story? Why don't you listen to her more?
Because I reciprocate energy, and so if he comes at me hard, I'll come back at him 10 times harder, and he doesn't like that. It challenges his masculinity, and so he'll come back at me 20 times harder, and I come back 30 times harder, and we just end up bickering until one of us just eventually gives up. And this never happens, where I will, bitch, I remember one time I was in the club and we were arguing, bitch, I was crying out of fucking tears of frustration and tears of sadness, and I was just in there crying at the club.
You never told me.
I was in Atlanta.
I know, it was I know what night it was. It was the night of those party photos.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
It was that night. I was literally crying in the club,
there.
just like so fucking mad, because like he knew it too, and he just like, oh my god, he's a dick, but boy do I love him. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, we have our great memories though. We have a lot of good memories. I honestly love him so much, and like, he's out of all my exes, I do love him the most.
Well, he's also the most recent, so give us some time to see who you actually love.
I mean, if you're yours, God, I fucking hated him.
No,
but like, no, he like, we have a lot of good memories. But like, I'm just focusing on like the negative parts right now, because this is the topic of what we're talking about. But I mean, like, I'm talking negatively about him. But if we talk about positive, then I can just have a list forever, you know, because as bad as there is good, the good outweighs the negative, and that's why we're still talking and in cahoots. But that's besides the point. We're talking about, you know, the girls that get cuffed up, the girls who don't.
I was just going so off topic. I'm like, so the guy I'm talking to right now, I met him on Halloween.
We stay going off topic though, you guys. Like, it's never like anything, but yeah.
What were we even saying?
Bitch, I don't even know. I'm like, I have lost the, like, we have went so far off topic. I can't even remember what we were talking about. Let's see.
Let's take a poll. Who would you date, me or Elena?
What other girls do we know that would not like get the girlfriend title? Like, okay, so they're really easy. Okay, so what I know for a fact that I'm very that kind of girl, because like there are times where I'm looking at my Instagram and I'm like, ew, I'm posting so much lingerie photos. I'm like looking like,
I had to archive. I had to archive so many.
That's me. I was looking at my photos and I was like,
because I didn't want to give off that vibe
no,
anymore.
Literally, I was giving that vibe so bad, because like I had so many like TikTokers in my DMs, and they were all kind of just like talking to me in like a really like slutty
derogatory way.
Yes, and I was like, why is this? And it's because I was posting like every single photo was like in lingerie, and just like it was so like,
I need to delete my photos.
It was so provocative, and I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I'm comfortable with my body. I love showing my body, and I want to just always.
And I love how comfortable you are in your comfortable you are in your body.
Now that I've got it altered the fuck out of like no tomorrow.
Exactly, because I saw you wanting it forever. That I was like, oh my god, to see you just so confident now, like. It's great.
Just having really the tiny little waist with the big old hips, like
the fact that I just have vodka at everybody's different houses.
Are you coming?
Later. But so literally,
should we get food later? Should we go shopping? What do you want to do?
Okay, so we're not gonna go get the food at my parents' house anymore.
Okay.
We're gonna just do that tomorrow probably.
Okay.
But I literally, I have food. I had my vodka. I left it in San Jose at Gladys's house. And then Sky just texted me. She goes, "You have the vodka at my house. Do you want me to bring it?" I'm like, so I just have vodka at everyone's house. So funny.
I'll have a kickback tonight. We can order pizza.
A kickback? What are we in high school?
Wait, no, I'm on a diet. I have to wake up at 7 tomorrow for my trainer, by the way.
Ugh, the worst.
I know. But anyways, you guys, so that just goes back to kind of just like the girls who get cuffed. I feel like we've like tied. Okay, conclusion, Danny. Wrap this up.
They're like totally over this topic. They're like, so we get it. The good girls get cuffed and the bad girls get fucked.
I want to talk about like how you know. Okay, so
because you just know if a boy is hitting you up on Snapchat instead of text, he wants to fuck you. This is kind of just also
kind of like the dating like stage, you know, like
yeah.
Like I honestly feel like when a guy meets a girl, within 10 minutes he knows whether or not he wants to fuck her or date her.
No, I wouldn't say that's true.
I think it's so true.
I mean, the guy I talk to, like
when I meet a guy, because there are times where there are times where I've talked to guys, and I'm like, okay, I kind of want to like just skip to everything, just like see his dick and like fuck him. And then
okay, that's because you're a slut.
Sorry. And then there are some guys where I'm like, you know what? Like I really want to take this guy seriously, and I will like be respectful.
Okay, it really is, and this is something we haven't talked about. the way you text that person, the way you guys talk.
Okay.
Like, if it's very,
elaborate, tell them.
If it's like if it's very short and brief to the point, like WYD, like, what are you doing? Or like, come over. It's just very short. It's like they just want to fuck. But if they like ask like, oh, how's your day? Question mark.
I feel like if a guy's engaging in conversation with you,
they might be open to whatever you want.
Yeah. If a guy's like asking you a question, because there are times, have you ever noticed, where you like would ask guys questions and they would answer you and then they would only ask it back to reciprocate the energy, but they wouldn't ask their own questions that they're actually genuinely like curious about, like they want to know. Do you know what I mean?
I'm sorry, I just blacked out for half a second. What?
Oh my god, Danny. Like, do you
I don't know what you just said. That was a lot. Go on.
Do you ever talk to a guy?
Okay, right.
And then you're asking him like questions about himself. And then
because you want them to ask it back.
No.
Okay.
Like, you're asking because you're genuinely curious.
Okay.
And then he will answer the question and then ask it back just because you asked him. But he will never go out of his way to ask you his own curious question. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I get that.
Like, that's another thing too. Like, he will literally treat like a girl that he's truly genuinely interested in. He'll be like, you know what? Like, I really want to get to know this girl.
Yeah. That's like you can see who's making the effort, kind of.
Opposed to the girls who he's just kind of like whatever it's about. He'll like usually just kind of like answer questions, be short, ask the questions back just because you asked, and he wants to be polite. Like, read the room, bitch. Like, you can totally
do that
tell.
sometimes just because, you know, I'm a mixed girl. I'm Italian and Indian, and I will ask on purpose, oh, what's your ethnicity?
Because you want to share.
Just so then they'll be like, I'm white. What are you? Me being like, I'm Italian and Indian. Oh my god, that's so exotic. I've never met anyone like that.
I know.
I'm like, I know. I haven't either. It is what it is, you guys.
That's another reason to how you can know, like, I was like, you're serious right now. It's kind of just like, he will, like, the vibe will be there. You will know right away if he wants to be with you or not. Like, the energy would just be different. He would just like treat you a different way. He'll talk to you like you can just tell. Like, read the room, read the conversation. Like, it will like be there. Like, you can't be that oblivious. If a guy really wants to, he would. You know, like, everyone's busy, but no one's ever that busy.
Right.
A guy will make time for what he truly wants.
And that's so true, except for when I'm confused. Except for my current situation, because I'm thoroughly so confused.
I mean, I could give you the answer to that, but you won't like it. And I have many times, but I mean, it's
okay, but that's just not the truth, because why do we talk 24/7 all day on the phone on FaceTime?
Well, why did he not come out to see you when you were only 15 minutes away? Let's talk about that.
Because his aunt had a stroke and his grandma just died.
But he could sit at home.
And I decided to bombard him and go to his town.
So he can sit at home and text you and call you, but he couldn't just drive 15 minutes away to come see you.
I don't fucking know the situation.
Exactly. If a man really wanted to, he would. I'm sure he has good intentions. Hopefully the next time he'll be better. We'll just say he had a bad week. But I'm just saying,
well, Danny, you guys have been communicating more on it.
If he really wanted to, he would drive the 15 minutes to see you, is what I'm saying. If he really wanted to, he would.
I'm like, cut this part out. I'm just kidding. I leave it in. I don't give a fuck.
But I mean, that's just how it is.
Well,
like, the girls
whatever
he wants to date, like, you will know, versus the girl that he just wants to fuck. Like, we can't all be that dumb. And sometimes we don't even want to accept that we are that girl. But sometimes kind of just like, you know what? The clues are there. The signs are there. Like, I'm just
going to live in my own delusions. And
I will support it. You supported mine. I'll support your delusions.
Thank you.
Of course. I'm not going to burst your bubble if you want to.
So, what did we learn today? Like, you guys listening, going forward, do you want to be the nighttime girl or do you want to be the girlfriend?
I don't know. There's a way of, like, wanting to, like, I don't think there's a way of kind of like, oh, I want to be this girl. I mean, it's kind of just like,
I think it honestly just depends on if you meet the right person and like where they are in life.
Like, I don't think you can just wake up and choose like, oh, I want to be the girl that gets wifed up. Do you know what I mean? Because like a guy can look at you and if he's not feeling you, then he's not feeling you. He's not gonna like change his ways like of anything just because you decide of who you want to be. You know, like that could be good for yourself. Like gain a little self-respect, like maybe like if a guy does like the only thing you can do is like as far as like wanting to either be like the nighttime girl, the daytime girl, the girl he cuffs, the girl he dates, or the girl he fucks, like there's no way waking up and be like, you know what, I want to be the girl he dates, because you can want that,
yeah,
but like it's not gonna happen. But what you can do is turn the opportunity down when it presents himself. Do you know what I mean? Like if you want to be the girl that gets taken seriously, What can you do, you may ask? We'll tell you. The next guy that a guy approaches you in a negative sexual way, you have the power to shut that down. You have the power to like turn it down and walk away from it. But if you feed into and entertaining it, that's when
maybe for some validation or just because you want to, that's fine, but just know what comes with it.
But that's when you automatically become the girl that he just fucked, because you're letting him treat you that way. So with that being said, if you guys want to be taken more seriously, have a little self-respect, you know, like stand up for yourself, stand your ground, because keep in mind, if he can't fuck you, he'll fuck someone else. And why would you get played like that, you know?
Oh my goodness, that is so true.
So with that being said, you guys, that was today's episode.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a little bit all over the place,
but I mean, like, I feel like that's what's fun about it. Like, that's what's fun about it. It's all over the place.
Definitely, because we never know how to stay on topic. We just start talking and we go, wow, wow, wow.
That's the whole beauty of it, though, I feel.
It's like, so basically, for, I guess, like a disclaimer coming forward, whatever topic we're talking about, just expect to only like 10 minutes of it.
Like 10
minutes
more
of the actual topic, and then the rest of the hour just us
the rest
talking
will
about
literally be fucking rambling.
High relationship success rate.
Of how successful I am in the dating community and how I'm just everything.
Anyways, it's been fun, you guys.
You guys, I got a trainer, and like my life has been so different since I got my trainer. Like
he's like trying to be healthy.
He's like put me on this fucking diet. He's made me cut out so much food, and honestly, I'm not having it, but the results are cute. So I'm like, all right, I'll be optimistic. But yeah. Anyways, you guys, before we go, is there anything you want to plug?
Probably just my OnlyFans and probably just my Instagram.
Same here. Link in the bio. It's all here. Danielle Taylor XO, Elena Genevieve, and until our next episode, you guys.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.